Right. Uh-oh, there's a person coming. We better cross because you're not trustworthy. You're not a trustworthy individual for a dog. People get really nervous when this dog walks towards them. I don't know why. I mean, I guess, I kind of do know why. You never know. He's a big fucking Hulk. Oh my, Black Friday is upon us. This is my first time ever working a retail job during Black Friday. That shit it's like being at a buffet. Like, people like, do I work Black Friday? I think I do. No, wait. How could Black Friday be? Thanksgiving's on a Thursday. Is it the Wednesday? I don't know. I don't do, when you're an orphan, you don't have a lot of people to shop. Except for Bonehead here. Yep. Remember, Hercules, when we used to work for these assholes? Yeah. We got some new cars in. Glad nobody wants to work there. Oh man, pest control. Man, I've worked at so many companies where the rest of his soul. He had a little bit of a drug problem. He pulls me into his office and he pulls out a box, and inside this like coffee tin, he chops up a line on the table and goes, "Do you do coke?" And I go, no. I had never done coke. I was like 22. He's like, "Oh." So he starts a big fucking line. He goes, "Well, today's your first day, and I'm gonna give you," and we had like 15 guys that worked at the pest control company. He goes, "We're all going to a strip club for your first day on the job." And I go, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, it's raining, so all the guys that want to go to the strip club." I go, "It's 8 o'clock in the morning." He goes, "Yeah." So people start coming in the office, doing bumps, and I go, "Okay." He goes, "You're getting paid to go to a strip club. Just go to the strip club." I go, "All right." So we go to a strip club. He gives us $500 each in cash. And we go to the strip club, and we were there from like 10 o'clock in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. And that was my first day working for fucking American Pest Control. And he later lost the company. He stole like $150,000, embezzled $150,000 from his family that owned the business. Then the sister came in and she embezzled $200,000. So they both got fired. So I was like, note to self. The dad like had a mansion in a, come on, bud. The dad had first day. Then the girl I worked for at Dixon Pest Control was a fucking playmate. And she was employed. And she owned a pest control company. So you meet a lot of crazy people in fucking Vegas. I wouldn't out there again. I'm not really a big fan of the desert. And there's too many, I don't like this. I don't like, if I could live anywhere, I'd live here, Puerto Rico, or fucking San Diego if I could afford it. Here, I'll let you run a little bit. I know you're fucking aggravated with me. Okay, big baby. So yeah, Aptive was like the worst. Aptive Pest Control and Orkin Pest Control. Come on, Dingo. You're getting a bath tomorrow, right? Are you happy? Yeah, what do you think? I was going to forget you? I came home from lunch and got you outside too. Yeah? Don't worry, you're getting a bath tomorrow. We're going to get rid of them fleas. I'll spray the couch for you and everything, my friend. I gotta be honest with you. I kind of miss smoking cigarettes a lot more than I thought I was going to. I ended up going to the movies for the first time in like, I want to say 10 years. My gym owner invited me to the movies, and he's like, yeah, we're going to see the Marvel movie. And I go, I have no idea what that even is. He's like, yeah, it's the superhero movie. I go, okay. And I go, well, how much does it cost? He goes, don't worry about it, I got it. I go, okay. So we go to the movies, like 20 people there, and he rented out the fucking theater for his gym members to watch the movie. And I was like, bro, you rented out the fucking theater? And he's like, yeah. And I go, okay. I go, I mean, listen, that's fine. You got to do whatever you want. It's your money. He's like, yeah. He's like, we do this all the time. And I go, okay. He's like, I've never asked you to go because you don't ever want to go anywhere. And I go, yeah, I wanted to say no to this. So I went and seen the Marvel. He always finds like eat over here, like human bones and shit. So we went and seen the Marvel movie. A little weird. This girl I know sat next to me, and I fell asleep like halfway. It was so cold in there, and the seats were so nice, and it was just like it's near my nap time. It's 2 p.m, and I woke up and I'm like I didn't even know where the fuck. You ever wake up somewhere and you don't know where you're at? I'm looking at this girl and going, why are you sitting here? I thought I was still dreaming. See, he found something to eat. Come on. Okay. No, it's bad news. Let's go. I'll give you a bath tonight if you keep scratching, okay? My friend, you're going to make me look at you tonight when I get home, okay? There's no way you got fleas that bad. I got this anti-microbial flea soap from somebody, and it's kind of like Dawn dish detergent with pesticide in it, and it fucking kills. Fleas just drop off. My friend Byron wants to take my dog for 6 months. I was like, why do you want to take him for 6 months? He's like, oh, I miss having a dog. I go, yeah, but what am I going to do without my dog? He's like, well, you said you want to get a roommate. It's going to be hard getting a roommate with a... I said, bro, I won't get a fucking roommate before I let my dog go anywhere, You're not going in the pit of despair, no. Hey, he wants to go through this little hole of death, not happening. Come on, let's turn around. I want to turn around. I don't like walking down here with all these zombies and shit. Probably the railroad tracks are back there, and there's always somebody sleeping. Some serial killer. I had this weird ass dream 2 days ago before I went to the gym. I was taking a nap. I was off. It was like 11 in the morning, and I was taking like a 30-minute nap. And I fell into such a deep sleep. I had a dream, and both of my brothers who have passed were in the dream, but they weren't my brothers, but they were my brothers in the dream. And we lived in Florida because that was always the plan. And, here I am. And I said to my younger brother, well, I'm going to get this apartment for us, okay? Are you sure you want to live here in this city? Apartment, both on the lease. He's like, yeah, absolutely. And my older brother's like, yeah, that's, we had like a 3-bedroom apartment, which we've done before in like Las Vegas and stuff. And all of a sudden in the dream, my one brother's like, my younger brother, who I had a very tenuous relationship with, we just never really got on, especially in the later years. He was like, yeah, I'm thinking about like moving to Fort Lauderdale. And I'm like, what? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, there's just a better music scene down there because we were all musicians and we were always in bands together and stuff. And I said, bro, you can't just pick up fucking, we've only lived here. Like, we have to live here at least 6 months in order to break the lease. I asked you if you want it, you know what I mean? So he was doing what he always used to do. And it made me think, like, before he passed, it's kind of like the situation I got going on in my life now. I had gotten to the point where I had allowed so much nonsense to continue that when I closed the door 2 weeks before he died, my mom called me, and I was kind of on the getting right, on the outs with her too. And she's like, well, I haven't talked to you in a while. And I said, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And he goes, and I was just started getting sober, so I was already an outpatient. And she goes, your brother's trying to get a hold of you. He's in San Francisco. Now, mind you, before he moved to San Francisco, God told me if he moves back to San Francisco, he will die. Okay? So I drove from Niagara Falls, from my girlfriend's house in the Falls, like near fucking Canada, into the city to tell him that. And that was the last time I seen him. And we hugged, and, he fucked my bike up and all this other stuff and whatever. So, like, he would call me intermittently from, I can't tell you when I'm not even going to get into all the other shit, but it just was like he called me 2 weeks before he died, and I just was like, I'm not talking to him. I'm done with this. He only wants to talk to me when he's high or when no one else is around, and he's always chosen other people over me, and I've done all, kind of like the situation that I'm out of now, and I woke up, and it was just such a fucking bummer to be like, December, is here. This is the month he died. I rarely really, not that I don't think about him, but I rarely think about that like that. And, I woke up from the dream, and it reminded me so much of my current situation, like how much shit I had put up with, and, and it was like, that's just, you treated me just like my younger brother did. You always fucking put all these losers in before us and everything else, and fucked me over financially like he did numerous times. And I was just so like bummed out, not because of being broken up or single or whatever, but just because I was like, man, like, life is so short, and people don't really think about like the consequences of like I never really, and I didn't either when I was using, but there's people that aren't in my life right now that like I wish I could still talk to, that I fucking burned bridges with. And I don't know, I was just really fucking bummed out. Like, I woke up and I was like, man, the way my brother died and the way we left things, it just reminds me a lot of this current situation. And I was just so like fucking pissed off about it. And I haven't been pissed off about his death in a long time, but it just brought up a lot of old feelings that I haven't felt in a while. And it was just weird that it just happened to be like one of those dreams that you like, have. And I don't know, it's just random. I haven't had a dream with both of my brothers in it. And especially, they weren't my brothers, but they were my brothers in my dream. And I don't know, just it's like, yeah, I mean, it probably sucks listening to this, like it's describing a dream. But if you've ever had a loved one that's died and they're in a fucking dream, it you wake up and you miss them. You know what I mean? Like, we lost so much, we lost so much time, and so much dumb shit, happened because of his addiction. Like, we lost so many fucking holidays, and so many like situations, and so many fucking things happened that didn't need to happen. And, I was addicted to pills at the time, but I always made time I always, the last time, here's how it really went. He went to jail for something really stupid for 30 days, kind of like I did. He didn't get sober. He had nowhere to go. I hadn't seen him in like 2 years, you know? And my mom called me and said, "Your brother's getting out of jail. Can he stay with you?" I said, "Yeah, that's fine." You know, I said, "But he can't be doing none of his bullshit. So, like, we lived together for like a week. He meets this girl, like, you know what I mean? And he's on the phone at like, and I gotta work in the morning. He's on the phone at like midnight, being like fucking talking really loud, and I'm like, "Hey man, like, can you just kind of quiet down? Go out in the hallway, out in the fucking thing and talk. There's no one home across the hall." And I had to tell him like twice, and I wasn't even being aggressive about it. And he just like looked at me like, like, "Man, what the fuck, man? Well, you couldn't, but like in my apartment, you know what I mean?" So and so then he ended up fucking leaving me high and dry, kind of like another situation I know of, financially. And moved in with this girl. He's there like a month. She kicks him out. And my dad calls me from Vegas and was like, "Yo, he's homeless right now. He needs a place." I said, "He ain't coming back here." And I wouldn't let him come back here. And we still talked every once in a while. I let him in my I let him in my band. Hey, I let him in my band when he got out of jail. I had a pretty good band. We were starting to play around town, and we had been rehearsing for like 3 months, and da 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 da. And he fucked that all up and fucked my band up, and just I don't know, man. It was just, I just, and then he died, and there were just so many things that were so stupid that And it's like this current thing, it's like so many things you did were so fucking stupid. Like, just like, if you wrote a book, I think you should call it, "What the fuck were you thinking?" And, he died, and I didn't talk to him. And that's how I left things. And people ask me, "How do you feel about that?" And I said, I don't feel bad about not talking to him. If I talked, nothing would have changed. Nothing would have changed if I talked to him. He had fucked me over. I'll let people fuck me around a couple times, maybe more than a couple, but I'll tell you, come on, Hurt. Come on, dummy. But there comes a time where I just pull the trigger, and once I started looking at him in a different light, like I started looking at him like he wasn't my brother anymore, things had changed. Hey, you. What are you doing, Tommy boy? Once I started looking at him in a different light, I had a hard time like looking at him like he was my brother ever again. And I don't know, it just kind of pissed me off. Like, like I haven't thought about that shit in a long, long fucking time, And then I thought about this current situation, and I said, I'm not fucking, I don't owe anybody. Come on. A fucking explanation. I don't owe anybody 15 minutes of my time. Things are starting to get back to the way, I don't have the amount of, I just don't have that stress in my life anymore. I don't have all the bullshit and all the lies and the stories and the nonsense and the fucking drug use and the fucking tension and the negativity and the fucking craziness that I fucking, I've been trying to get her out of here for fucking 2 fucking years, and I never really wanted her to leave until recently, like she fucking stole from me, and fucking pawned her bike and all kinds of fucking bullshit. And I just started saying, you know, I'm done with this shit, man. Like I'm not living like this. I'm fucking 45 years old. And I told her that. I said, I told her that before my birthday. I'm not living, I'm not starting my 45th year on earth living like this. And I know I've said it before, but this time I mean it, and I meant it. And, you know, here we are. And I have I had a week or two where I fucking felt bad about it, and I wanted, think, but there's nothing to work out, you know. That's the one thing that I realized is I'm not taking anybody. There's just been things that have happened that, I was thinking about it like this. There's things that we do in life that are character traits and character flaws. We all have character flaws and we all have character traits, good and bad. And one of hers is she's not loyal, okay? And that's not a character flaw. That's who you are as a person. You're not a loyal fucking person. And that's just something that, as we say in the pest control business, it's a disqualifier, meaning you're not eligible for a warranty. You don't need anybody in your life that's fucking, disloyal and fucking, so that was a big thing. And, truth wise, you could never trust her you couldn't trust her with a fucking dime. You know what I mean? Like, you just couldn't trust her with anything. And everything is a lie. And it just gotten to the point where I just, go ahead, brother. Go. It just gotten to the point where, there's no more, she wants to talk and whatever the fuck. And I just don't have nothing to, I have nothing to say to her or anybody else other than I don't regret my decision. And anybody that calls the cops on me and makes up some bullshit, I definitely would never allow back in my life. You know what I mean? So that's all I really needed to happen. And I'll be honest with you, it was a fucking answer to my prayers. I said to God, I really feel like I got to get rid of her, but, let me know, show me if I'm supposed to. And he showed me, you know what I mean? And I was never moving to that house. I never was going to marry her after I seen the friends that she would make, the people she talks to. She's like her mom. She just gravitates to trash. She just gravitates to white trash people. She loves white trash people. You know what I mean? Like scummy, trailer trash, meth head, crackhead type. Them are her people, like she does not know how to make a classy friend. Like, anybody that I'm friends with is successful, you know what I mean? Or I'm not going to be friends with you. And I'm not putting a ring on somebody's finger that hangs out with the fucking lowlifes she hangs out with, and just the lies and going back through all the, I just, and the financial strain and the fucking, like we had a house, after all of that is said and done, you just don't appreciate shit. And this ain't meant to be. And I wish you the best. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm not coming back. You're not coming back. There's no fucking way that any of this would ever work out anyways. Because, and another thing is, after all I've done, like her kids could have been here and she would have been doing the same fucking shit. You know what I mean? And God told me she would have got her kids back if she was living the life she was supposed to live. And she wasn't. She's been lying the fucking entire time. She stole thousands of dollars from her fucking job, at least. Okay. And just, having a seizure in my house from smoking K2 and just fucking crackhead nonsense. And I'm just so I love her and I want her to know that I love her, but I'm not in love with her like I used to be. There was about 2 weeks there where I was fucking, brokenhearted. And then the shit that she did with the neighbor and the disgusting shit that was, and stealing money from me, losing your job, and calling the dude, you're not, I must have been out of my fucking mind. Be honest with you, my biggest regret is I should have never came back and got her and let her move into my fucking house. I got to go in and delete my Facebook, and it's so hard to delete all the pictures. I've got to delete all of this shit and fucking, I got to start a new Facebook, and I got to find a way to save the pictures of like she abandoned her cat. She thinks she's getting back this kitten. I'm not giving you back that kitten, because you're not responsible enough to own a fucking cat. First thing she said, I said, I think having a cat would be good for you before any of this happened. And she goes, well, what am I supposed to do during the days that I don't feel like, aren't good days, where means she's not going to be taking care of the cat? She didn't take care of her other cat. Okay. I'll just tell you that much. And that's all you need to know. And that's all I'm going to say. And I'm not going to get into particulars. Okay. Because we've had a couple of conversations about some things, and Tommy can stay here. I don't care if the other cat's pregnant. I'll get her fucking taken care of. I'm not having that cat live over there with your fucking crackhead fucking tendencies and your friends. And, she thinks that by paying the phone bill or whatever, you can call up and turn the fucking phone off. I don't care. I'm paying the bill again. When I get paid, I'm taking it off your thing and changing my number anyways. You know what I mean? So, and, I've been, kind of talking to this other girl I met at the gym that I never really thought of her as a girlfriend type situation, but, we both kind of went through the same shit, together, that we're going through now. And, not that, I'm like looking at getting a girlfriend or anything like that, but, I feel like, I met somebody, like I wasn't planning on meeting anybody, but it was kind of something that, it just happened organically. And, it just, I just want to move on with my life. And I just want what's best for me, like I'm tired of I'm tired of this dealing with selfish people and selfish things that they do. And I'm just tired. It's just a fucking nightmare. Like, I've been waking up, and, like it's going to take me a little bit to bounce back financially, but, I'm going to get my personal training thing going at the gym. I've got a couple people I've talked to about doing the sober coach thing. I didn't want to take their money because I just feel like they're not ready to get sober. And, you have to make a choice when you're ready to get sober. Like, you have to be wanting to get sober. You can want to get sober, but you're not ready to get sober. And that's kind of her thing. And she might never be ready to get sober. It's no longer, it's like I was carrying around like a backpack with like them backpacks that they wear in the fucking army when they're marching up hills and they put weights in them for endurance. I just don't have that, I don't have that fight, and that belief in her, like I just don't believe in her like I used to. You know what I mean? I don't believe her. I don't believe in her. I don't love her like I used to. I don't feel the fucking same way. I don't wish her any harm or any whatever. I'm interested in meeting, I'm interested in this other girl, and I'm just kind of over the whole fucking thing at this point. You know what I mean? Like you could have tried, with my sobriety and my situation, very easily I could have fucking have relapsed, and I should have never allowed this shit to go on. But I didn't want to embarrass her in front of the next time I had to change we had to change the fucking locks. Like, how embarrassing that is, And I was never moving to that house. Okay. This is my neighborhood. This is where I live. I fought tooth and nail to take care of these cats and to get this street the way I want it. And pretty soon, your crackhead friend can move in with you and you guys can live together in your Lilith Fair fucking relationship or whatever, and then she's acting like that never happened. Everything's just a fucking lie. I just don't have time for it. I'm 45 years old. I'm a good looking guy. I got my shit together. I don't need this anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need it. This is not what I want to do. This is not what I want to do with my time. This isn't what I want to do with my life. Like, I want to be like, and that's the other thing is like, she never wanted to be successful and she never was a go-getter when it came to work. She could have got promoted numerous times and I'm thinking more about the financial responsibility of when her kids came, like what we need to do to facilitate a smooth transition and, taking another shift and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, you're their mom. You should be having some kind of fucking intuitive, like, maybe I should take this position at work and get an extra $1 an hour and work my way up. She just didn't have any of that. It's just all lackadaisical. And I'm not, I'm the man of the house. I'm not moving somewhere where the house is fucking just beyond anything I want to even. I'm very particular about cleanliness. I'm not moving into a house that looks like that and needs that much work. I just can't handle it. You know what I mean? Like my OCD, I didn't even like going over there to visit, It's just, when she let some fucking stupid girl that she knew from work, another crackhead that was, everybody's like sober. That's the other thing. It's like everybody's pretend sober. Yeah, there's nothing about this person that's fucking sober. And I'm just not the friends. We just are we're two different people that, it was never going to, it just, there's so many things that have gone on that people don't even know about that I'm not even going to disclose because I don't even want to fucking embarrass her any further. But she fucking embarrassed me with her behavior. And I have a right to talk about this shit. And everything that I've said has been the truth, 150%. All of this shit is the truth, okay? I don't want to hear any explanation. I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear any stories. Yeah, I miss you, but I don't miss you enough to facilitate you coming back here. I'm not interested, and we stopped sleeping together. And, I started losing interest. When I start losing interest in somebody, that's the first thing that goes. I just, like, I didn't want to sleep with her anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying it to be mean. I just, it's not because I'm not attracted to her. It's just, that chemical connection was just not there anymore, and I have been growing more and more distant when it came to her. And, she tried to keep me hostage and, like her shit here and not move it out so I couldn't get a roommate and all this nonsense, and never gave me back my key, called the police, kept shit here, tried saying that she was pregnant then, and after all this happened, and it's like, you're a fucking toxic individual, like we were talking about it, and I was talking to my friend at the gym that's he's kind of like a guidance counselor, but he has a degree in, like, I forget what it's called, but he was like, everybody's toxic, some people are more toxic than others, and some people become more toxic when they're with certain people. And when that shit happens, like, it's just not good, and it's just not good. None of this was good. I've done, one day she said, oh, all this will be worth it. It never was worth it at all. Like, none of this shit that I went through with her was worth it. I couldn't trust her with a fucking dollar on her. You know what I mean? I couldn't trust her with her phone. She started stealing. She's changing her password on her phone, and just I don't even want to know. I just know this: you're gone, and this is the time where this one is. You're not gonna be able. Unless, and I've told people this, and I'm 100% serious. Unless an angel of the Lord appears and shows me something, there's no way that I would ever allow myself to be fucking under her spell or her control or her nonsense and her pretend fucking love, because the shit that she's done, you don't do to people if you're fucking planning on spending the rest of your life with them. The nonsense with her fucking ex-husband and just all kinds of crazy shit. I should have kicked this bitch out years ago, and just embarrassing, like, that you're a fucking mother and that you would do this shit and have kids. Like, what kind of fucking role model are you to your kids? You know what I mean? And you're going to be my wife. Well, I'm not marrying anybody that does fucking a small percentage of what you've done. So it was bound to happen. It happened. And, I would have never met this girl. We never would have been in a situation where, I'm not saying that she's the light at the end of the tunnel, but I would have never, met somebody that, it takes a lot for me to have a connection with somebody, and me and her, connected in a way where I kind of feel like this is the first girl I've ever met that I would, want to be friends with if we weren't, whatever. Not that I'm not saying that we're anything, title specific, but, I don't know. It's just like, there's always a reason why things happen, and things never end good, or they wouldn't end. You know what I mean? Like, they just wouldn't end. And this had to happen. This had to happen because we're not supposed to be in each other's lives. You know what I mean? Like, we're not meant to be together. This went on way past, and that's my fault. And that's my lack of fucking, whatever discernment when it came to you. But, I was looking at the photos that we took when we went to the beach, and I was like, that day should have never even happened because we got in a fight. It's just, I'm just so, for the first time in like a long time, I get up and I just don't have the tension in my house. I don't have the tension in my neck. I don't have the tension in my shoulders. I'm not waiting for some more bullshit. I am completely free and fucking clear, and I'm not making that mistake again. I don't care how I'll always have some kind of feelings towards her, but my feelings are never going to be enough to ever allow some kind of fucking, like, maybe 5 years from now, if we're still on Earth, we could maybe talk once in a while on Instagram or something. We're never going to be fucking pen pals. We're never going to be friends. I think the best thing for her would be to sell that fucking hunk of shit she calls a house and move the fuck home and buy a house there and split the money with your brothers, because you're not... You need to be around your family because you fucking can't be trusted to be by yourself. You're just not at the point in your life where, and I've been there myself. Trust me when I tell you, and nothing that she's done is, like, she's not an unsalvageable human being, in God's eyes, but we're not getting back together. She tried blaming me the last time we split up when I met someone else, she tried saying that, she tried making me like after all, I was like, after all the shit you did, what did you think I was going to do? You drove me into the arms of a fucking another woman. You know what I mean? Like, you pretty much made me go out and find someone else. And, this time I wasn't, I wasn't okay about it for, whatever. We've been together almost, 2.5, 3 years. We lived together. We were, when things were good, they were good, like all relationships. But, yeah, of course you're going to miss somebody being around. But after 2 weeks, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of used to you not being here. I'm kind of used to you not being here. And I don't miss you enough to fucking want to hear your voice. I don't miss you enough that I want to see you. I don't ever, I'll be honest with you. I am completely fine if I never seen her again in my life. I'm completely fine with, I pretty much plan on never fucking seeing her again. I'm never going to, go over there and check on her, I don't have, I'm not living like that anymore. You fucking fucked me around so much that, it's like, you're not my friend, like, we're not cool. We're not friends. We're never going to be cool. We're never going to be friends. You've done some unforgivable shit to somebody that has watched out for you and given you a home, not one home, but two. Okay. I took care of your ass. You know what I mean? And after what you did, I could never have you fucking lay in my bed and do anything with you. I don't look at you the same way, like, I can't guarantee, honestly, like, if I'm being real, I can't guarantee that I wouldn't spit in your face if I seen you at this point in my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to fucking, I don't want to fucking work things out. There's nothing to work out, there's nothing to work out. After you, the first time she pulled some bullshit and she went over to her friend's house and got drunk and fucking high and everything else, and her friend London, who I'm pretty much convinced that they had some kind of like fling or some kind of lesbian love affair situation going. I think she's got some mommy issues, and I think she's like into older women. Your friend that you liked then, that I told you, I never want you to fucking see. It's embarrassing that you would even hang out with this person, one, and then you're my girlfriend and you're hanging out with her. It's just, that was already, I said, if you put her phone number in your phone and lied about it, that right there was grounds for termination. You know what I mean? And then you fucking physically punched me in my face. You know what I mean? After coming home drunk, all fucked up. I should have kicked you out. I should have grabbed you by your fucking hair and threw you outside like I'm the Flintstones. Okay? And publicizing some text messages that I wrote in anger. Well, let me just reiterate what she shared on her fucking Facebook. I completely take, unlike her, I completely take responsibility for anything that I've said. And I did say that your roommate will find you dead and bloated like I found your mom. Yeah, that might be kind of crass, but it's not, who went over to your house and shouldered the burden of finding your mom deceased so you didn't have to do that on my day off? I could have let you go over there and fucking walk into that house and imagine if I did that. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know me from Adam. I've met you at a fucking convenience store. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not one of my relatives. You're not my fucking blood. You're not my family. Do you know what I mean? The things that I've done for you, yeah, you keep fucking using drugs. Guess what? They will find you dead over there. You think your heart is going to hold up with fucking doing the drugs you do? Yeah, they will find you one day. Okay. And and just like that almost happened to me. You think you're not going to run across some fentanyl in your cocaine? Well, good luck, because that's what happens to people. And you got kids and shit, and you're just a selfish fucking You're just a selfish individual. You chose drugs and you chose other people over your kids. Obviously you're going to do that to me and your cat and everything else. You know what I mean? So I don't feel bad for you. You ended up exactly where the fuck you're supposed to be. Now, whatever happens from there is up to you. Okay? You can either, like I said in my video, you can either do what I said or you can whatever. Don't do it to get back. Don't come around here acting like you're sober like you always do and act like you're going to meetings. And she'd go as far as to steal a fucking Narcotics Anonymous fucking coin and pretend that it was hers. You know what I mean? Like, I just know she's a master manipulator. I don't want nothing more to do with it. I'm spending the holidays with someone that I'd rather spend the fucking holidays with. I can tell you that. You can spend the holidays with the trashy people that you've chosen. You've chosen this path. You might as well see it through, because I've chosen my path, and my path don't lead to your doorway. Okay? I'm moving on with my life. I lost both of my brothers to this shit. You never respected that. You never respected my sobriety. You never did a lot of things. And I'm so thankful when I wake up in the morning. I used to miss you. When I wake up in the morning, I don't feel like that anymore. I feel like, man, what a relief. It took me this amount of time. She almost got me arrested. I had to she broke a window here. You know what I mean? Like, she's done all kinds of just crazy shit. She's got mental health issues. She needs to go get help, and she needs to fucking move on with her life. You're young. It's not the end of the world. Move on with your life. Don't bother me. I'm not going to bother you. I have to, it's like now I got to go through and change my phone number. And, I'll be honest with you, you're not going to your nonsense and anybody's nonsense. How the fuck could you love your cat and I'm raising your cat? That would be the day anybody had my cat. Okay? You left your kitten here 45 days. Guess what? The state and the county laws, you abandoned that animal. Okay? That animal ain't yours, and I'm not giving you that animal back. I'm telling you that right now. You can call whoever you want to call. I'm just telling you right now, you're not getting that fucking cat back, and you can turn this phone off and do whatever you want. I'm just telling you right now, I don't care. I don't ever plan on fucking reaching out to you and seeing you and us reconnecting anytime in the near future. Okay? The thought of her coming here makes me sick to my stomach. Okay? Like, I'm beyond sick to I've never been so nauseous thinking about what somebody's done to me. And I would never, my grandma would be so fucking disappointed. That's another thing, I think about my grandma. My grandma probably wouldn't talk to me anymore if she knew a third of this nonsense if she was alive. Okay? So I feel thankful. You know what I feel thankful for? I really feel thankful that I'm single. I feel thankful that you don't have a key to my house. I feel thankful that I don't have to hear the door open and know that you're coming home, and who knows what the fuck bullshit you've been doing when you were at work, getting high at work and everything else, and fucking talking to all the fucking trashy people you talk to. And I don't have to have any of that in my life anymore. It's over. That shit is over. And, it's over because of you fucking brought it to this point. You know what I mean? You gave me no choice but to fire you. You got fired from your job, kicked out of a house, kicked out of a relationship, all in the same month. Congratulations. Now, if that doesn't facilitate you getting sober, I don't know what will. Okay? So don't worry about me, Brandon from Buffalo. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Okay. You're not going to, no one here, you're the next door neighbor, you, your family, anybody, any future person of interest, the girl that I'm talking to now, whatever, you're not, no one is going to break me. Okay. No one is going to, if I didn't relapse going through all this shit that I went through with you, I can tell you this, I'm not going to relapse now. Okay. I have no interest in doing drugs. Okay. Jesus Christ delivered me from that over 4 years ago, and you have made a mockery out of your relationship with God, and you have made a mockery out of the things that you say and pretend to believe in. And if I were you, I would focus more on your relationship with God than me and your relationship, okay? Because I don't have the keys to your eternity, okay? So I thank God that I never got you pregnant. I thank God that we never got married. I thank God I thank God when I wake up in the morning, literally, okay? I thank God that you're not living here anymore, okay? I thank God that you're still alive, okay? I thank God that God's given you another chance, but you're not going to bother me. You're not going to call me. You're not going to fucking try to manipulate me and say that you're pregnant and all your other crazy shit, because I can tell you, there's no way that you're fucking pregnant with my baby, okay? Because I don't think my fucking things are floating anywhere, okay? With all the fucking pesticides and all the fucking tetanus shots I've taken and the testosterone and everything else, you probably slept with your husband when you went away to Idaho like you did the other time you went and woke up next to him. Remember that debacle? And you could look me in the eye. You're a fucking liar, and you deserve to treat yourself better, okay? You deserve a better life than what you've been living, but you chose to live a lie, and the devil is the father of lies. You've sowed confusion in my life and deception and strife and everything else, and I don't miss waking up in the morning and seeing you in my house. You know what I mean? I get up in the morning now and I've lost 20 fucking pounds. I've met a new girl. I've got a new job. I'm moving on with my life. And I really hope someday that you make something of yours and that you get your shit together and you can tell people whatever stories and concoctions you want to come. If they're dumb enough, if your family's dumb enough to believe you, okay, then good for them. Okay. I have no reason. What does this benefit me? It makes me look stupid that I put up with you as long as I did. Okay. So have a good Thanksgiving. I got to see this crackhead riding her bike everywhere. You know what I mean? Like this fucking junkie that she slept with. I got to see her riding her bike. You know what I mean? And see all the cars come here that whole week that you stayed there for a fucking week and never came out of the house. You weren't smoking crack and sleeping with her. Well, what were you guys doing? Trading baseball cards, playing Dungeons and Dragons? I know what the fuck you were doing. Okay. The whole neighborhood knows what the fuck you were doing. You embarrassed yourself in front of, and then you would walk up and down the street with her and go grocery shopping with her and shit. Like you guys were fucking Melissa Etheridge and fucking her girlfriend. Get the fuck out of here. I would never demean myself by even considering, okay, anything ever happening between us ever again. You could give me, I was talking to a guy at the gym. He's like, well, how much money would it take for you? I said, bro, she could sell that house for $300,000, let's just say. And I wouldn't even take $300,000 from her. My dad tried to buy me when I was younger. Okay. I moved out of the house. I had enough of his shit. He deceived me and did the same shit basically. And he was like, I moved out when I was in high school. I've been out of the house since I was 16 and a half. He was like, oh, I'll let you drive the Caprice, his new car, if you come home and and I'll put you on the insurance. And I was like, it's not going to happen. Okay. You could put that house in my name. I don't want it. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with that area. I don't want nothing to do with your friends. I don't want nothing to do with this life that we had together. So for that, I'm thankful that I get to spend time with someone that it's so crazy talking to someone and they're not lying when they're talking to you. You've lied so much to me that you completely like destroyed the logic in my brain. I think everything that people are saying is a lie. So when I'm talking to this girl, I'm listening to her talk and she's like, yeah, and then, I locked my keys in my car and that's why I was running. And I'm like, if it was her, I'd be saying, this lying bitch, what did she really do? Because that's the shit that I used to fucking deal with on a daily basis. And I don't deal with it anymore. I feel better. I look better. I eat better. I haven't had, and I'm not saying this to be mean, I haven't had one night where I have been up all night tossing and turning, even when she was doing her lesbian love affair thing across the hall that she denies, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's disgusting. You have to live with that shit. And, even if you didn't, or you did, the fact that you were even over there after that girl called the cops on me one time because she's a lesbian and she wants to sleep with you. No, you guys slept in that little house and that was only one bed there. What'd you do? Sleep on the floor? Get the fuck out of here. I'm over it. I don't want to see your phone number showing up in my missed call logs. And, don't just think that you're going to fucking come over here and that you're going to get your cat back, because that's not happening. You're not allowed on the property. You heard what the sheriff's department said. Okay? Nothing. You have nothing here. I made sure anything that was even closely resembled to yours, from a Wawa shirt to a fucking umbrella, I threw in the trash. There's nothing in the shed. There's nothing in that bedroom. There's nothing other than, a couple beer cans I found and some residue, some cocaine residue. So, yeah. So good luck to you. And I wish you the best have a good holiday. Go fuck yourself.